adverbs. So we started a little bit on Wednesday. We're going to finish talking about adverbs, and then we're going to practice using adverbs and adjectives. And then on Wednesday, we'll do something fun for Christmas. I remember last year we had such a fun Christmas party, and I'm so sad that we can't have a fun Christmas party this year. We learned about like the shepherds and the wise men. We read that story. That was so fun, but that's okay. I'll think of something creative for Wednesday. So, but tonight let's finish adverbs and talk about adverbs and adjectives, and we'll practice with that. So, where am I? Here we go. Okay, so on Wednesday, sorry, I'm just moving some of this stuff. Okay, so on Wednesday, we finished adjectives, and we talked a little bit about adverbs, okay? So you remember adverbs are words that describe verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs, okay? So if you looked on the article that I sent you on Wednesday, you have adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner describe verbs, actions. She drove quickly. Drove is the past of drive, right? It's a verb. Quickly describes drove. How did she drive quickly? Okay, so they describe how an action is done. Adverbs of manner can also be used to compare how two or more people or things do an action. Okay, so we talked about the equative form and the non-equative form, which is the same when you are using adjectives. Okay, so the equative form is showing equality. This means that something or someone does an action in the same way as someone else. Okay, so examples include my dog barks as loudly, the adverb is in the middle, as loudly as your dog. Okay, so it's as, the adverb as, if you would like to compare the same two things. Okay. Non-equative form is the exact same thing, but the opposite. You put not in front of it. My dog does not bark as loudly as your dog. Okay, he does not speak as quietly as her. I cannot play the guitar as well as she can or he can. Okay, so it's very similar to this, but you're putting can't in front of the verb. Not in front of the adverb, in front of the verb. Okay, he does not bark, he does not speak, he does not play. Okay, so those were our equative and non-equative forms. Okay, then for homework, before we continue, I said do exercise 1. Okay, so let's look at exercise 1 together. If you did the homework, take it out and see how you did. Okay, it's important to look. How did I do?
He runs quickly. I run.
Exercise 1. So it's equative and non-equative, equal and not equal forms using adverbs. Okay, so for example, Yosef walks slowly. I walk fast. So you're putting it together and you're saying, oh, Yosef doesn't walk as fast as me or as quickly as me. Okay. Number 1, she runs quickly. I run quickly too. What would that look like comparing them in the
She runs as quickly as me.
Yeah, good. She runs as quickly as me.
She runs quickly.
She runs as quickly as me. Quickly is describing runs, not she. Okay? So if it's an adjective, you might say she is as pretty as me. Pretty is now describing she. She is as pretty as me. Okay, that's an adjective. An adverb, there has to be a verb there. She runs as quickly as me. Quickly describes runs. Number 2, he laughed enthusiastically. I laughed softly. What would that look like?
I don't laugh as enthusiastically as him.
Exactly. Perfect. Yes. I don't laugh as enthusiastically as him. Exactly. Good. Number 3 says, I approached. Do you know what approached means?
No.
Go.
Approached is, oh, hi, Isel.
Hi.
Approached is a new one. Yeah, approached. Does someone know? Does someone want to describe it?
I imagine that it's when you get close to someone or something.
Yeah, so it's like approaching is like to come up to someone. That's a phrasal verb. But to come to someone. So like if you're at the grocery store and I say, oh, I think that's Yisel, and I walk up to you, I am approaching you. I am coming toward you, walking close to you. So they might say like in a mysterious movie, like, or a mysterious book, he slowly approached her from behind, right? Like
Okay.
slowly came up to her.
Okay.
Yeah, approached. So if
Lydia, can I say a number 2? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, ask me.
I said he didn't laugh as softly as me.
Perfect.
Right.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Perfect. Yep. He did not laugh as softly as me. Perfect.
Okay.
Yes. So you can say, I did not laugh as enthusiastically as him, or he did not laugh as softly as me.
Okay.
Perfect. Great question. So number 3 says, I approached, right? Came up slowly. The big dog carefully, right? Carefully. You approached it carelessly, without care. Just who cares? Whatever. Hi, dog. Right? You run up to the dog. Hi. Okay. I approached the big dog carefully. You approached it carelessly. So how would you say that? If you were comparing equative and non-equative.
I approached the big dog carefully as you approached it.
Say it again.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Oh, no, you're fine. You're looking at it. You're really close. Right?
Okay.
So if I approach the big dog carefully, you approach it not carefully, those are non-equative, right? They're not equal. Okay, so non-equative, how do we say that? Go ahead, Veronica, sorry.
You didn't approach the dog as carefully as me.
Good. Yes, you did not approach the dog as carefully as me, right? Or I did not approach the dog as carelessly as you.
Carelessly.
Carelessly. Careless. So to be less in English, like less means not as much, right? So careful, I am full of care. Careless, I have no care. I have less care. Careful, careless.
Teacher, can you pronunciate the verb
Approach?
approach in present and in past?
Yeah,
To see
so
the difference?
approached. It sounds super similar. Approach, it's just like with so many past verbs in English, it almost sounds like a T at the end. Approach, approached. So you're ending it with like approach or approached.
Okay.
No one's in my house, otherwise I would sound really dumb. Okay?
Because I write down, I don't approach the big dog as carefully as me.
I did not in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
in
verb
this case,
will be
listen,
in
not
present.
I don't approach. I did not approach. So you would say I didn't, did not. Did is already in the past. So the word approach is actually in the present. I did not approach.
Without the
Without the ed.
ED.
Because you
Okay.
already put the first verb in
Yes.
the past. And when you
You're
do
right.
that, the second verb is the infinitive. It's just the normal
Yes.
verb. I did not approach the big dog as carefully, or I'm sorry, as carelessly as.
Sorry.
Really good questions.
Okay.
Okay, approach. That's a good word if you don't know that word. Okay, number 4 says, you play the piano beautifully.
Beautifully.
She plays the piano beautifully too.
Beautifully.
Beautiful.
Beautifully. It's beautifully. It's actually only 3 syllables. Beautifully.
Beautiful.
Beautifully.
Yeah. You play the piano beautifully. Okay. Or if you wanted to say someone, if you want to use that as an adjective, you are a beautiful piano player. Right? So notice the difference between when you talk using an adjective and an adverb. You play the piano beautifully. Beautifully describes what?
The way you play the piano.
Yes, the verb play. Beautifully does not describe the piano or you. It describes the verb play.
Verb.
How do you play? Beautifully. How do you approach the dog? Carefully. Right? How do you speak? Quietly. Okay, you're asking how with adverbs. How do I do an action? And the adverb is your answer. Okay? You play the piano beautifully. She plays the piano beautifully too. How would you put this together using the equative form?
You play the piano as beautiful as her.
You play the piano good, as beautifully as her. Good, as beautifully as her.
Beautifully.
Okay, good. Or she plays the piano as beautifully as you. Either one, it doesn't matter. Okay, very good. Number 5, Danielle speaks quietly. Sheena speaks quietly too. What about this in equative form?
Daniel speaks as quiet.
Good, yes. Danielle speaks as quietly as Sheena. Wonderful. Number 6, she played soccer well today. He did not play soccer very well today.
He didn't play as well as she did.
Perfect. Exactly. He didn't play soccer as well as she did, or as well as her. Either one. She didn't play soccer as well as she did, or she didn't play soccer as well as him. Sorry, he did. Him.
As her.
Excellent.
Teacher, is he didn't play soccer as well as her.
As well as her, yes.
Yeah.
There's a boy and
I
a
can
girl
say-
in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. No, you're correct. Afifa said it correctly. I said it incorrectly.
Teacher, I can say he didn't play soccer as well as her today.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, you're just adding more detail, which is totally fine. Yep. Yes, you can. Good, you guys. Number 7, Amir petted the cat gently. Maya petted the cat gently too. Gently. Do you know that word?
Gently, yes. Petted, no.
Better, no.
Oh, petted, like when you pet a cat or a dog, you rub their fur to pet something. So petted is in the past. I petted the dog yesterday. Now I would
Acariciar.
say I pet the dog yesterday.
What things can you pet, teacher?
Anything that has fur. Do you know what fur is? Animal hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not like a turtle. You can't really pet a turtle, but in English, we will say that. Any animal. I'm like, oh, like this turtle's so cute. Let me pet him. Even though he doesn't even have fur. So any animal, like you can't pet a fish, right? Like you can't, whatever. But like a cat, a dog, a mouse, a bunny, a squirrel, like anything you can touch that's an animal, when you touch it, you pet it.
A
Okay.
fish.
Yeah, not a fish unless you get really lucky. So any animal that you are touching with like love. You know, like you pet a dog, pet a cat, pet a bunny, whatever. An
Yeah.
animal. Typically cats and dogs, but you can pet a horse, right? Like you want to pet a horse. If you go to at the zoo in Nashville, they call it the petting zoo. And you can open it and take your kids in and pet the goats.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's called the petting zoo because you pet the goats. You can touch the goats. It's touching an animal with love, petting.
You can
So
pet
if you say, and do you know gently,
snakes.
Yes.
can you pet a snake? Yeah. Yep. I mean, I wouldn't, but you can. It's grammatically correct. Yes. Any animal, really, you can pet. Yep. Yep. So Amir petted the cat gently, right? Calmly, carefully. Petted the cat gently. Maya petted the cat gently too. How about this one? Anyone?
Amir patted the cat as gently as Maya.
Yes, exactly. Excellent. Amir petted the cat as gently as Maya. Exactly. Good. Number 8, our teacher speaks slowly to us. Their teacher speaks quickly to them. What about this one? So this is non-equative. Sorry.
I have their teacher doesn't speak as slowly to them as our teacher does to us.
Good. Yes. Our teacher doesn't speak as slowly to them as she does to us. Yisa, what did you say? It cut out. I'm sorry.
No.
You
Our
said something this different than Veronica, but I think you're also correct.
our teacher speaks as slowly to us as their teacher speaks to them.
Our teacher, did you say our teacher does not speak as slowly to us?
No. Our teacher speaks as slowly to us. Oh, no. I cannot say that.
That would be correct if it was equative. Our teacher speaks as slowly to us as their teacher speaks to them. But if it's different,
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm confusing with slowly and quickly. Sorry, I thought that was the same.
it's okay. But what you are thinking is correct. Like
So
when
our teacher doesn't speak as, forget it.
no,
I'm
do
gonna
it.
write down.
Try it. You can do it.
Our teacher doesn't speak as slowly to us as their teacher speak to them.
Exactly. Good.
Okay.
Yes. See? Ta-da.
Okay.
Good. It's hard when it's non-equative to put it in a full sentence, but you are exactly right. Very good. Number 9, we tried hard on this assignment. They did not try very hard. This is non-equative. This is hard again. Difficult. Haha, this one is a hard one. Think about it.
But teacher, about the last one again, I'm sorry.
No, tell me.
I am using twice us and us.
Say it again.
Our teacher doesn't speak as slowly to us as their teacher speaks
To them.
to them.
Yeah, you said it correctly. To them, not to us, to them.
Yes, but that we can use. No, yeah, okay, got it. Forget it.
As their teacher speaks to them. You said it correctly.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Or do you
Yeah.
Good. So number 9 is similar to number 8. It's an non-equative. We tried hard on this assignment. They did not try very hard.
They didn't try as hard.
They did, it cut out, I'm sorry. They didn't try as hard, what?
They didn't try as hard as we did.
Yes, exactly. They didn't try as hard as we did. Or they didn't try as hard as us. Doesn't matter. We changes to us if it's at the end. So, or you can say as we did. That's also good. Excellent. Good. Last one. Oh boy. Toshiaki? Okay. Let's call him Tosh. Answered the questions intelligently. Hyro answered the questions intelligently too. So this is an equative one. They both answered the questions intelligently. What do you think? Come on, this one's not so bad.
Toshiyaki answered the question as intelligently as Hiro.
Exactly. Excellent. Yep. Shoshaki answered the questions as intelligently as Hyro or Hiro, whatever. Excellent. Good. We do not use adverbs as often as we use adjectives. That's a comparison, a non-equative. We do not use adverbs as often as we use adjectives. So these might be a little bit more difficult to both pronounce, because you don't pronounce these as often, and to put in sentences, but they are very important. Okay. So that was the equative and the non-equative form. Okay. So that's when you're saying something's equal or not equal. Now let's look at and remember, this is very similar to our adjectives that we discussed all of last week. So let's look at the comparative form and the superlative form. So the comparative form, just like with adjectives, just the same, is used to compare how an action is done between two people or things. This means that someone or something else does an action more than someone else. Okay? So the pattern, the formula is just the word more plus the adjective plus than. The same as with adjectives. Okay? So, and this is even easier because these don't have, if it's one syllable, you have to do, you just put that word. If it's two or more syllables, you add this, like with adjectives. It's just more plus the adverb plus the word than. So for example, Amara dances more gracefully than her sister. Felipe checked his work more carefully than I did. We discussed the topic more seriously than the other group. So when Amara dances more gracefully, gracefully is describing how she dances. Carefully is describing how he checked. That's the verb. Seriously is describing how they discussed. Remember that. Adverbs go with describe the verb. Adjectives describe the noun.
You know.
Okay? So for two-syllable words that end in Y, comparative adverbs are different from comparative adjectives. So if it's quickly, it just changes to more quickly. That's all that it's saying. You don't change the ly at the end from, like, remember, if it's two syllables and it ends in Y with an adjective, you drop the Y and add IER. So friendly changes to friendlier. That's not like this. Adverbs are easier. It's just one. More plus the adverb plus than when you are comparing things. Okay, this means that someone or something else does something more than someone else. The superlative form, just like with adjectives, uses typically 3 or more people. And this means that someone or something in the group that you are comparing does an action the most when it's compared to the group. Does that make sense? Okay, so it's the same as adjectives, the superlative and the comparative. Okay, so it's the plus most plus adverb. Thou spoke the most politely to the teacher. Gabriella laughed the most loudly of all of us. I finished the assignment the most quickly in the class. Okay? So it's the same as with adjectives using the superlative and the comparative. But this is if you're using an adverb that's describing the verb. So politely is describing how Bo spoke. Loudly is describing how Gabriella laughed. Quickly is describing how I finished the assignment. Okay. Are there any questions about this?
I have a question
Okay.
for the document for the adverb of manner, page number 4.
Okay.
Adjective friendly, you said like him. Adjective friendly and costly and silly. Add the same adverb, friendly, costly, silly. Same spelling or different? Because I couldn't understand you put line.
So are you saying this? So an adjective, like the adjective friendly.
Friendly.
She is a friendly person.
Okay.
Friendly is describing person. If I says she speaks very friendly. Now, friendly is describing the way that she speaks. It's the same verb, or it's the same word, but in the first example, it's used as an adjective. In the next example, it's used as an adverb.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
so you
it's the
can
same.
have the same word, but it can be used as an adjective or an adverb, depending on the context.
Okay.
Really good question, yes.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions about comparative form and superlative form? Sorry. Okay, so these are really not too difficult. It really depends on the context. That's why I'm trying to tell you, when you want to look at the context, what are you trying to describe? The verb or the noun? If you're trying to describe the verb, you will use an adverb and use these formulas. Okay. Okay, our time is going to run out here in a minute, so we will end and then we will practice with this. Okay, so you can use the same link and we'll practice a few. Okay, I'll see you in a minute.